attention to the group chat, or they heard, or they texted me already. Happens to be this week is a special week because it's actually my parasha, which actually means that it's my birthday week. Ay, 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 la, 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 la. 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 The Kulululu was wow. That's if my last name was Bendelov, you know what I'm saying? אז באמת, I'm going to speak about a few different topics over here tonight. One thing I want to touch on is something that we have to talk about. Where does this idea of celebrating birthdays come from? Where does this idea of celebrating birthdays come from? If a guy went to the doctor's office and the doctor told him he only have 12 months to live, and at the end of the first month the guy was in there having a party, they would send him to psychiatric ward. What are you celebrating? You're 1 year closer, you have 1 day closer to death. So what's a person celebrating? And where's the first time we see in the Torah a birthday celebration? Paro. And after that, Achashverosh. We don't see anything in the Torah about Avraham Avinu celebrating a birthday. We don't see Avraham was in the restaurant over there with the sparklers, and they came out with the, they came out with the sparklers and the banner, happy birthday to you. פעם ראית את זה בתורה? I don't know which parasha you saw over there, אבל זה לא האמת, לא ראינו. לא שמענו, לא ראינו, לא אברהם, לא יצחק, לא יעקב, none of the above. Now today, you go to the restaurant, Shavach Shamolat, even if it's not your birthday, you tell them it's your birthday for them to come out with the sparklers and the Inyanim Shama, okay? You know what I'm talking about? They come with the restaurants, they come with all sparklers, they come with like 17 lights, Shavach Shamolat. Where did this not come from? Where does that come from? Sheila, no? You ever thought about it? What are you celebrating? What are we really celebrating? As this happened to be, I heard from Arav Zamir Cohen, Chayei. He asked this question. And he brings a Gemara Masechet Brachot. The Gemara Masechet Brachot says, Rabbi Yochanan says that the end of every person, the end of his reality, is that he's going to go to his death. The end for the animal, Sof Chaya L'Shchita, the end for animals to get slaughtered, and the end for people, humankind, is they get to an end. And therefore, praiseworthy a person who toils in Torah, who makes the Torah his work, and gives nachat to his creator, so the one who created him. Says Shlomo HaMelech, alav ne'emar, tov shem, mishem tov, miyom ha'mavet, miyom yivelado. Shlomo HaMelech says in Kohelet, a good name is better than a good oil. We spoke about that in the past. And the day a person passes away is better than the day he was born. Let me ask you a question. What is going on over here? Shlomo HaMelech is the wisest person to ever live. And he says the day a person passes away is better than the day he's born? Nothing makes sense. Think about it for a second. When's the last time you've been to a funeral and they're having a party over there? The guy passed away and they go, imagine, what would you do? You'd go up and leave. What kind of funeral is this? Huh? What kind of funeral is this? Maybe if your ex-husband or maybe somebody back there, but what kind of funeral is this? And Leumat Zeh, on the other side of the coin, you go to a brit. Why? You have the teddy bears and the balloons and the dancing and the singing and the bottles and the celebration. Oy. What's Shlomo HaMelech talking about? We see with our own eyes. Which one is more happy? The day a baby is born. Nobody's happy when somebody passes away. Good question or no? So on this we have to explain, Shlomo HaMelech, in his infinite wisdom, in his wisdom that was beyond what we can maybe comprehend, understood that the reality of the world is, when a baby is born, you don't know if he's going to be a good person or a bad person. Did they celebrate when Hitler was born in Mach Shemo? They celebrated. A baby was born, they celebrated, they threw a party. If they knew it was Hitler, would they have celebrated? Everybody knows the famous story of the Jewish doctor who came to him, the baby, with the high flu, and he saved his life. Later on, came to find out that baby was Adolf Hitler. He said, "Is it ta'ut asiti? If only I would have just let it go." You know what I'm saying? I would have let the Palestinians drop, and next thing you know, we would have been saved from the world. That's Shlomo HaMelech. When a baby is born, you don't know who he's going to be. You don't know what kind of life he's going to live. But at the end of a person's life, you know exactly who he is. It used to be that people used to go on voyages for business. Where would they go? They would take boats. Not like today, a guy goes, he wants to go on a business trip, he books first class, he sits over there in his room, puts the curtain in, they bring him the champagne, he has a shower over there. You know what I'm talking about? Guy flies to China, he has a shower. Back in the day, they used to have to go on boats. You get on the thing. The guy has a hook for a hand. He's wearing iPads, missing a leg. Last week he was fighting with a dolphin. You go out over there for a few months. You don't know if a whale's going to get you, a shark's going to get you. That's it. That's what you have, this old wooden boat. Think about it like this. A family member is going out on this. Your father or your husband is going out on this voyage. Are you celebrating when he's leaving? No. Why? Because you don't know if it's going to be successful. You don't know if he's going to get attacked by a shark. You don't know if the ship is going to sink. When do you celebrate? When the ship comes back to port. This Shlomo HaMelech says, only at the end of a person's journey do you know who he was. That's when you celebrate. You celebrate his life. Because you see how great he was. But when he's born, you don't know who he'll be. You don't know if he's going to be successful. You don't know if the voyage will be a fruitful one. And therefore, when do we celebrate? At the end. And the truth of the matter is every single person knows this in his heart. How do I know? When's the last time you've been to a eulogy? Person passes away. Family member gets to the stage and he says, "Guys, I want you to know, I went to the coroner. They announced the time of death, 12:31 a.m., Tuesday morning. I went to Chase Bank and I asked them exactly how much money he had at 12:31 a.m. And Baruch Hashem, he had 5,353,000. And he owned 120 buildings in Manhattan. He had 3 Lamborghini Uruses, 1 yellow, 1 purple, 1 black in the driveway. He had a Maserati. What kind of eulogy is this? You ever heard a eulogy like this in your life? In his safe, he had this Brook gold and dime. You ever heard a eulogy in your life? What do they talk about in the eulogy? What do they talk about when a person passes away? Look at all the good things he did in his life. He was a good husband. He was a good father. He helped. He was charitable. They don't talk about his money. They don't talk about how many buildings he had. They don't talk about how much money he had in his bank account. They don't talk about his watches collection. They don't talk about which shoes he had. One guy showed me the other day, he had shoes, the shoes have to match the bag. You know what I'm talking about? White shoes with all these colorful things on it, and he has a bag, biduk to match, the same leather. $40,000. That way when he goes to the airport, has to match. שלא יהיה מחלוקת פה בין הפוסקים, you know? I saw another bag over there, different color. He told me, no, that shoe is not, has to be white shoe. You know, the guy goes traveling, he has to get his, you know, talking about, he goes to the store, he buys a Hawaiian shirt. You know what I'm talking about? The short sleeve shirt with the roll-up cuff, because with the shirt on the knee, with the palm trees. You know what I'm talking about? Comes over there with the short shorts, מגיע לי מתיק, you know, מרגיש לעצמו. זה החיים. He talked about what outfits he wore when he went on his vacations. What do they talk about in eulogies? They don't talk about nothing to do with his money, his car, his house, nothing. And what does a person spend 99% of his life running after? The buildings, the cars, the this. And at the end of your life, they're not going to talk about any of these things. And the 1% that maybe you invested to give and to go and to do, that's what they're going to talk about. So everyone in his subconscious mind, he knows what's really important. The problem is we don't take it for the subconscious, put it into the conscious mind. Because at a eulogy, no one would dare to get up and say, he had this many buildings, he had this much cars, because nobody cares. It's like a mashal I told you guys in the past, I'll tell you again. Lo aleinu, we should never know from suffering. Very, very poor family, had no money. And they couldn't feed their kids. So the guy tells his wife, look, every 3-4 years, they have a journey, a ship that goes out, and there's a 20% success rate. But if you make it to an island that's laced with gold. The whole entire island, gold. Huh? New York City. You make it to the island, all that city laced with gold. The city of dreams. Okay? But 20% chance of survival. It's leaving in a month. What should I do? His wife contemplates back and forth. A week before they set up sail, she tells him, look, we cannot continue like this. The kids don't have what to eat. You have to go on the trip. I'm sorry. Go, and Allah Hashem, I'll pray, you'll be successful. Guy goes, he says, okay, I'm going to do it. Gets on the ship, and he goes. And he's, of the 20%, he makes it to the island. He makes it to the island, the whole entire island laced with gold. What's the first thing he does? He starts taking bags and putting gold and gold and gold and gold. And he runs around, gold. Yeah, come the fuck, gold, gold everywhere. Good. And then, after working up an appetite from collecting all the gold, he gets hungry. So he goes to Suduch over there. He tells them, let me get hummus, chips, salad. Let me get something to eat. Guy tells him, okay, how are you going to pay? What do you mean how I'm going to pay? Look how much gold I have. The guy tells him, gold is not worth anything over here. I have gold everywhere. You know what's valuable over here? He says, what? Onions. 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 That's what's valuable over here. This gold is not worth anything. He says, okay, I need to eat. So he goes down, takes his shirt, comes like a caveman with a stick, and he goes, starts looking for onions. Until he finds over there a cave, onion patch, he becomes a multi-onionaire. Multi-onionaire. He becomes the mayor of Onion Town. Yeah? Passes the 4 years, now he has to go back to his family. And what does he bring with him? All the onions. I have to go back to my family, show them I made it in life. I'm already a top dog over here. I did good things in my life. Look how many onions I have. Comes with all the bags of onions. They make it back. His wife is waiting at the shore to greet him. She goes, okay, did you make it, honey? You made it. Where's the gold? He goes, gold? Gold's not worth anything. You know what I have? I'm a multi-onionaire, honey. Look at all the onions I have. He goes, onions? Mata tipesh? What are you, a moron? What did you go on this trip for? She opens the bag, the onions are rotten. She goes, this is not even edible. Honey, I'm a multi-onionaire. Zeh Masal, a person comes to this world, they tell him you have to do mitzvot, you have to do good deeds. So he goes, does a mitzvah, and then he gets hungry. Or he goes to the store, I need to eat. I tells him, oh, mitzvot? You can't buy food with mitzvot. What's valuable over here? Onions, the green, the money, the paper, the Benjamin, the Franklin, the African, all the names, can? Jefferson, Jackson, Lord, they come in the Shemot, they give to every bill. That's what's expensive. So he spends his whole entire life like a madman, running after the onions. At the end of his life, he becomes a multi-onionaire. And he leaves the world. After 120, he goes to Shamayim. Hashem says, no, what do you have? He goes, Hashem, look how many onions I have. I'm a multi-onionaire. Hashem tells you, tipesh. Tipesh. I have all the money in the world. Look around you. Everything. Nothing's no money, no value here. What did you bring me money for? Where's the gold? Where's the gold? Oh, Hashem, I didn't know that gold was valuable. I sent you to this world. I told you gold is valuable. Why are you not running after the gold? Oh, Hashem, I need to eat. I need to this, I need to that. Okay, you need to eat. But when did the Balenciaga HOV lanes come into the picture? You know what I'm talking about? I get pulled over by a cop. He says, sir, there's 3 people over here. He goes, it's me and my 2 shoes. One Balenciaga, the other one. Okay, you're good to go. The shoes and the picture and this and the phone and the and the car and the interior and the paint and the wrap, not the wrap. Oy. Became a multi-onionaire. Is this Shalom Lovesh? Which watch you wearing? No, this is only a master yacht. This one is not a GMT. This one is a PMT. This one is a this. This one is a Submariner. This one is a marinara sauce. Lord, they call me Neshonim. This is what's important to the guy. Oh, this one is AP. This one is PP. This one is Lord, they call Achadim Shitato. This is what's important to him in the world. And he comes up to 120. Hashem, you saw my watch collection? You know how many Mazaritos I had on this watch collection? You know, me and Moshe were doing it. He came to me with onions. All your watches don't want anything over here. There's no time. It doesn't tell time. It doesn't do anything. And this is what a person spends his whole entire life running after. His whole entire life, he's running after the onions. And he gets up after 120, they tell him, what are you doing? We're wasting your time. This is the purpose of life? To run after the onions? People like, Mishugai. Huh? Talking about, they go to the mall, Allo, Lulu, Bulu, Chulu, כל מיני חברות. I have to, no, God forbid, I have to get a new collection, I have to get this. זה מה שחשוב להם, this is what's important to them. This is what we brought over here to the world to do. Obviously not. And therefore we can understand, Al Pi what Shlomo HaMelech is telling us, why a person, why a person celebrates a birthday. When a person looks back on his life and he says, when I was last year at the age of, let's say, 25, and now I'm 26, who am I today that I wasn't last year? How much did I accomplish in my life? If all I have to show for 1 year is more onions, then don't celebrate anything. But if I spent this year collecting gold, I grew, I became better, I got closer to Akash Bahu, I have what to celebrate. I'm not celebrating another year down, I'm celebrating another year up. I'm celebrating another year up. And that's what the Torah says about Avraham Avinu and Sarah. Ba'im bayamim. They came with their days. And over here it talks about Sarah, the days of Sarah's life. It says Rashi that all the years of her life were complete in goodness. The years of Sarah's life. All of them were complete in goodness. What does that mean? All of them complete in goodness. That every single day of their life, every single year of their life was complete in goodness. They spent every day achieving something. And that's why when Avraham Avinu comes to cry for his wife, he only cries a little bit. You know why he only cries a little bit? Why he only cries a little bit? Because when a person accomplished everything he needed to accomplish in this world, you don't have to cry a lot over him. Because Baruch Hashem, he did what he had to do. He made it to the Aliyah after 120. You only have good things to say about this person. He completed his purpose. And therefore, Avraham says, you're right, I have to cry about her. You're right, I have to cry. It's my wife, it hurts me. But if I look at her life and what she accomplished, look how much she did. And therefore I cry only a little because she accomplished every single day of her life was good. Imagine you get after 120 and Hashem greets you and tells you every single day of your life, not one of them went to waste. Not one of them went to waste. This year, I want to tell me, I want to celebrate your birthday. I told her, look, I don't celebrate birthdays, but I'm willing to look back 1 year and see how much I grew in 1 year. And if I grew, I'll do a birthday celebration with you. But otherwise, I don't want to talk. I look back, I said, there's a few things that Hashem was able to do. Okay, I'm willing to give in for my wife. If we think about it, if a person didn't grow, didn't do nothing in the last year except collect more of his onions, more Louis Vuittons, more Gucci, Fucci, Fendi, Prada, Louis, כל מיני שטויות, as what are we celebrating? As a person needs to understand in his life, all the celebration of what it is to celebrate life is not another year down, it's another year up. And therefore a person has to live every single day of his life. He wakes up in the morning and asks himself, what does Hashem want from me? What am I doing today that in 120 they'll say about me? What am I doing today to better myself? If I woke up in the morning at 9 o'clock and all I did is go to work and come home at the night time and then sit there on the phone for 4 hours. One guy showed me his screen time, 18 hours. I'm out to the mother. You have more time on the phone than you have sleep than you have the day. That's 18 hours. How many hours you sleep? No, while I'm sleeping. He falls asleep with the phone in his hand. The phone is playing in the background. All night he's hearing the short going back and forth. Yeah? If he's lucky, it's my short. If he's not lucky, it's something else. All night, back and forth. He wakes up in the morning. Oh, good God, I didn't miss anything. He's fasting. Because we know we have to open the phone, put in the password, cover the thing. Today, a guy wakes up in the morning. What's the first thing he goes for? His phone. Where does he go? The first thing, checks notification. Nobody likes you. Habibi, you have notifications. Where do you go right after? Right away to the shorts. 2 hours. Yo, I know what I mean. It's 10:30 already. Where did the day go? Yeah, you know where the day went. Check your screen time. Today someone told me. Look, I'm not telling you why they get flip phones, yeah? Okay. But one guy told me today, he said, the best thing I ever did in my life, I got a flip phone. My wife is happier, my kids are happier. I come home, I'm available, I'm alert. I go on my phone, man, nobody likes me. Nobody's texting, nobody's calling. I have nothing to do. What am I going to do? Play brick breaker? What am I going to do? I get the telephone. I go spend time with the kids. I come home from work. First thing he does, as if he wasn't on the phone at work. You know what I'm saying? You see him in the office. Every 30 minutes on the break. He comes home, honey, I need to unload. What does he do? Back what were you doing in the office for half the day? We see you. We have cameras. We see. Luckily, your team, check the screen time, honey. Check the screen time. She checked the screen time. Hello, all day you're on the phone. While he's working, he's talking people is ready and he's still scrolling. He doesn't want to lose one video. You know, today we make clips for online. And the software that we have that makes the clips, sometimes it makes 3-minute clips. I don't even look at them. You know why? Because nobody will watch a 3-minute clip. 3 minutes is too long. Rabbi, 62 seconds is already, the video's no good, throw it out, garbage the whole video, find out, take it 2 seconds. If it's not under 60, it's not going anywhere. It has to be 60, see, has to be 60 seconds. Has to be. Shalom, it passes the 61 mark. No, Rabbi, it's not for me. It's not for me. Rabbi, I don't have no way. I always find it funny. People tell me, Rabbi, watch all your videos. I say, watch my videos? He says, yeah. I say, yeah, of course. Every single one that comes out. Every one that comes out. I have to off 50 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Rabbi, 60 seconds. I told him every 3 weeks I come out a 60-second video. You see me for 1 minute every 3 weeks. Every week on Thursday I put a video out for you. Oh, I didn't even know you're on YouTube. Stakem. No, Rabbi, 45 minutes is done with that. It's a little bit too much for me. Rabbi, you got to bring it down. You know what I'm talking about? You got to take it down a little bit. Go 8 minutes. You know what I'm talking? Give them 8 minutes on the head and then come down. Imagine you guys came in tonight. I spoke for 8 minutes and got off the podium. So what kind of one is this? What kind of class did we come to? 8 minutes? A few people would be like, I like this. Other people would be like, what is this? I drove 30 minutes, drove back 30 minutes for 8-minute class. But Rabbi, I have to, the next video is waiting, you know? And now they have an audience retention rate. They can't even get to 60 seconds. 33%, and they can't even get past 20 seconds. They can't even get past the 20. 20 seconds, you're telling me that we already asked for too much at 20. No, Rabbi, it's too much for me. 20, next. Guys, collecting onions, all day collecting the onions, man. You guys were hearing my boss give the mashal. Huh? He gave the mashal about the 3 crazy people. I was called a team over here one time. It didn't go out. I'll say the story again for those who didn't miss it. Because the guy goes to a psych ward. He sees 3 crazy people. The first one, he sees him like this. What are you doing? I'm holding up the moon. There's another guy, he sees him on the wall. The guy's like, what are you doing? I'm holding up the wall so it doesn't fall on us. Comes to the third guy, tells him, what are you doing? He's sitting at the window. What are you doing? I'm counting the raindrops. Mathematician. Multiplication, subtraction, and Zakata. Out of all 3 people, who's the most crazy? Who is the most crazy? So if you were here, you heard the rabbi say, the first person, at least he thinks he's a hero. I'm Superman. I'm holding up the moon. I'm holding up the world. So I want to call all the world on my back. The second guy holding up the room. I'm saving everybody in here. The third guy, even according to his crazy, he's crazy. What are you doing? What are you doing? For what? For what? At least the other 2 guys have purpose. You know what I'm saying? This guy, what are you counting? Just stop. Guy doesn't come to the shoot or sits at home. So even according to his crazy, he's crazy. Because he knows that's the wrong thing to do. According to your crazy, you're crazy. And everyone in the mind says crazy according to their crazy, because when you go to the eulogy, they don't talk about his screen time or how much money he had. So what are you investing your life into? So even according to your crazy, you're crazy. Because you know at the end of the day, none of it matters. So what are you chasing after? And therefore, I'll ask you guys a question. How can a person know he's heading in the right direction? How can a person know he's heading in the right direction? I'll give you a proof from this week's parasha. Avraham Avinu, his wife just passes away. He goes, according to most of the opinions of the Midrash, the last and final test, Akedat Yitzchak, sacrificing his son. He gets back from this last and final test, and his wife passed away. And then he goes to buy her kever, and the guy is a crook. Tells him, between me and you, we're friends, 400 gold coins, nothing. Abraham says, Yalla, no, pays the guy. And he moves on. And then he says, okay, now it's time for me to marry off my son. He tells Eved Eliezer, he tells his servant Eliezer, listen, go, make me a promise, put your hand underneath my thigh, swear to me, you're going to take only from the people of my family, from my house, go, fine. Eliezer swears and he goes. Now, Rashi tells us that Avraham Avinu signed over all of his possessions, he got a deed, signing over everything to Yitzchak. That way when Eliezer would go, all the people would send out their daughters. What does it mean? How much money? Avraham Avinu was very, very wealthy. Kaved b'kesef v'zahav. He was heavy in the money and in the gold. And he passed it on to Yitzchak. So now comes Eliezer, the Shadchan, right? The matchmaker comes to town, and he has over here a guy, multi-billionaire, good looking, good family, good genes, good height, 6'3", the whole thing, the whole package. Huh? Who is not coming to line up? Who's not coming to line up? How many girls came to the watering well? Thousands of girls. And comes Eliezer and says to Hashem, the girl that I'm going to ask to give me from her water, and she's going to tell me you drink, and I'm going to give your camels to drink, that's the one who's going to be the wife. She's going to be the right one. She's going to prove herself to me. Let me ask you a question. When's the last time the criteria you asked for dating was the person that's going to ask for water, she's going to give me and my dog to drink? She said, that's my wife. How did you guys meet? I was in a dog park. She was walking around with a water bottle. She said, water bottle, pour on spring. Well, today they have the shigayon, not only glass bottles. You drink from plastic. Oh yeah, this is what they're concerned about, drinking from plastic. This is what they're concerned about nowadays. Drinking from plastic, chas v'shalom. Never said, okay? It's okay. Just make sure you don't drink from plastic, huh? Only vegan, non-GMO. Don't touch nothing. But okay. Waste your whole life on your phone screen. It's okay, but they drink from plastic bottle, chas v'shalom. Over here, Icelandic bottle, big glass. I told her, listen, I need to drink something. She tells me, you know what? The bottle, Allah, take the bottle for you and for your dog. At that moment, I knew she was the right one. What's the connection over here? What's Eliezer asking from Hashem? I'm going to tell you something beautiful. Agav, on the way. Rav Zamir Cohen says, there's an halakha, that a person shouldn't give, most of you are going to be surprised from this, shouldn't give another person to drink after him. Rabbi, every day. You shouldn't give another person to drink from your cup after you. Why? Maybe you're sick, and you don't know it, and you're going to pass it on to the next guy, and he's going to drink, he's going to get sick. How many times you get that stomach bug? Yeah? And one day, happened to me a few weeks ago, my daughter gave me the stomach bug. I went to my mom's house for 5 minutes. I didn't get the guy to drink. I walked in the house, the next day I wasn't feeling good, right away he blamed me. Hey, it's your fault. Hey, I was there for 2 minutes. It's your fault. Call Shukah when the guy's drinking. The guy drinks and then taste it. Very good. The next thing, both of them tomorrow. So you don't give him. One of two reasons. One, maybe you're sick. The second reason, maybe he's a stinist. Maybe he's a person who's a germaphobe, and you're going to embarrass him. Because now you're going to put him on the spot to drink, and he doesn't know how to answer. He doesn't want to hurt your feelings. But at the same time, he doesn't want to drink from your cup. So you can't tell him. Eliezer comes in his wisdom, says, the woman that I'm going to tell her, let me drink from your cup. And she's going to tell me, I'm going to give you the drink. I'm going to give your camels to drink. She's going to be the wife. The woman that I'm going to tell, let me drink from your cup, and then I'm going to hand her back the cup with water still in it. What's she going to do? She has one of two options. She's either going to drink from it and take the chance to drink from a stranger, or she's not going to drink from it and spill it out and hurt my feelings. But if she's smart, what's she going to do? I'm going to give you the drink, and the remainder I'm going to give to the camels. And therefore nobody's feelings are hurt. I don't have to drink from you, I didn't hurt your feelings, and the remainder I gave to the camels. Avraham Avinu, why did he understand this? He lived with Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu was so alert to other people's feelings that when he saw 3 Arabs coming his way, he started bowing down to them, my master, come wash your feet, this, and so on and so forth. And then when he goes to go get the kever, he starts talking to them in such a nice way, and he's bowing down talking about random people, random. And Avraham Avinu was Mashivatam. Kvod HaBeriyot, honoring the creations of the world. He said, I want to see a woman who has this midah ingrained in her. She's so sensitive and so alert that she won't come to hurt my feelings. And she'll give the animals to drink. Something beautiful the Ramban writes. The Ramban, he writes, if you pay attention, how did Eliezer know who to ask? The girl I'm going to ask, and she's going to tell me, that's going to be the one. Who's the first person he asked? Rivka. Why did he ask Rivka the first one? There are thousands of girls over there. How do you know who to ask? How do you know who to ask? Says Rashi, according to Midrash Bereshit Rabbah, and the water from the well came up to her. She came to get water. The water from the well came up. She came. She filled up her jar, and she left. Says, oh, the water came up to her, like we saw with Yaakov Avinu, like we saw with the Jewish nation, the Midbar. Oh, she's a holy woman. This has to be the one. And he comes and he asks her. Says the Ramban, pay attention to the psukim. First things first, she goes and the water comes up to her. And then in the 20th verse, it says that she goes and she's pulling out the water from the well. Sho'evet mayim. Says the Rambam, wait a minute. 1 minute you told me, 1 minute ago you told me the water came up to her. Now you're telling me she's going down to get water from the well. She's going down. Says the Ramban says that when a person, before Eliezer looked at her and considered her for shidduch, it was no mitzvah over here. So the water came up to her. As soon as she started doing something for a kiddush, for holiness, for mitzvah, that's where the difficulty comes. And the Ramban says that any time a person is a with mitzvah, he's going to get difficulty. How do I know? I'll give you the biggest proof. You call the person, tell him, come to the shiur. Huh? Right now, I'm going to take us next week. Every single one is going to do a challenge for themselves. Homework, okay? Everyone homework for next week. Call one friend that doesn't normally come. Tell him, come to the shiur. No, I'm very tired. I had a long day. I'm in my pajamas. I woke up at 7. Okay? Every excuse in the book. Call him and tell him, yo, we're going to the club tonight. Yeah? All right, I'm up. No, I'm tired. No, I woke up at 7. No, guys in the mirror for 2 hours with the gel, with the blow dryer. 2 minutes ago you were sleeping, אחי, אתה במיטה, הולך על עצמך, I can't get up out of the bed. Club, הופה, פתאום, blow dry, ככה, כן, שמנו את החליפה, שמנו את הלואי ביטונס, כן, and he goes. I tell you what, we had a show this Monday night in Manhattan. So I told some boys, I saw the patients that didn't come from last time, they didn't come. I thought, what happened? No, it's far to the city, to go on the toll and this and that. I told them, if you would have told them to go to the club, the guy doesn't think about the traffic, the tolls, the extra toll, he doesn't care. He's ready to go, Havshi. Pito Mashiach Torah, Rabbi, it's hard for me. Could be 1 block away from his house. It's too far for me, Rabbi, it's too far. I got to walk around the corner, it's too much for me. But when it comes to mitzvah, you see, also now there's difficulty, heaviness. Comes to anything else, the guy runs. Don't forget, he runs, like nothing happened. I told him today, what's more enticing? To eat over here 5 burgers, hot poppers with the buffalo sauce, coleslaw, French fries, inyanim, or the garden salad? Which one is more difficult? The garden salad? Which one is easier to eat? The French fries, the burgers, the hot poppers. How does a person feel after he eats the hot poppers and the French fries? How does he feel? How does the guy feel after the garden salad? The box want to feel light. And not only he feels light, his wife also feels light. The guy goes to the restaurant, one guy offers over there, appetizer, steak, not steak, dessert, drink, after drink. My guy says, I'm just going to have the salad. The Gardena salad, I'm going to have the Gardena salad. The guy comes out with $25 bill, this guy comes out with $180 bill. So the guy won't covet bakesef, also as well, his wife feels heavy, and his stomach's like, so how does he feel? The same thing in life. When you go to do a mitzvah, at the beginning, it's hard. But I don't want to go. But how do you feel after you leave the shiur? When you finally make it over here, how do you feel when you leave? Like $1 million. And how do you feel? $1 million times after going to the party? Like a efes. Why? When a person dedicates his life to doing what's called the hard work, the end is sweet. But when a person goes for what's easy, the end will be bitter. Oh, what did I accomplish in my life? What did I do? What did I even accomplish? What did I get through? Nothing. And therefore, if you want to succeed in life, like a fish, if a fish always goes with the current, what's going to happen to the fish? It's going to die. In life, sometimes you have to go against the current. You have to go against the current. When it's difficult, and adrabah, when it's difficult, that's how you know you're going the right way. That's how you know you're going the right way. When you have the difficulty, that's when it's the right direction. I heard a story this week of a moel, circumciser. Came to do a brit. He comes to do the brit, everything is there, the baby's there, everything's ready to go. And he goes, wait a minute, before he about to make the bracha to start the process, before he makes the blessing, he asks the father, tell me, how is this baby born? Naturally or cesarean? I said, oh, cesarean. Oh no, I came to the brit milah. He walks out. So one of the guys, one of the rabbis, said, Rabbi, I've been with you to maybe 100 britot. I've never one time seen you ask the question. Now all of a sudden you ask the question? He goes to him, no, you have to understand. Everything was running so smooth, I knew something was off. When's the last time you've been to a Brit Milah, there wasn't fighting? Huh? Brit Milah, the mom's in the back, she's crying, the mother-in-law, no, the dress, and the this, and the that, the teddy bear is not the color that I wanted, the balloons are not the shape. איזה מריבות, איזה מריבות, איזה מריבות and fights. Who's going to make this bracha? Who's going to make that one? No, my rabbi, your rabbi, his rabbi, their rabbi, everybody's rabbi. אבל למעשה, who's making the bracha? איזה מריבות. Rabbi comes, everything's running smooth. No fights. Everybody's happy, everybody's good. Something is fishy. Something's fishy over here. Something is going weird. In life, if a person is looking for what's easy, something is going off over here. Something is not right. It's only when you're doing the right things, when the difficulty comes, that's when you know you're in the right direction. Every single person in the world, he knows the one thing that's the most difficult for him to talk about. The one topic he doesn't want to talk about. You know why? The one aspect of his life. Some people it's patience, some people it's anger, some people this. You come to him and tell him, Habib, you have to work on your patience. No, I don't want to talk about it. Why? Because he knows that's very difficult for him and he wants to run away from it. But that's exactly where you need to work. In those areas where it's the most difficult for you, it's exactly where you need to work. What's the hardest thing for a woman? What's the hardest thing for a man? Which one of them is the hardest thing for a woman? Which one is the hardest thing for a man? Hardest thing for a man is Shmirat Einayim, Shmirat Brit. Watching his eyes, watching his breath. And it's the more difficult it is for him, the bigger the nisayon. And the bigger the nisayon, the greater he will be when he overcomes it. And for a woman, it's niyut, modesty. Two of the most difficult things. Talking to a woman about modesty, they start saying, oh, it's hard for me, Rabbi, it's very difficult for me. Why? This is my beauty. And a woman in her tumimut, in her simplicity, she doesn't understand. One guy came to me, and I'm saying this in the nice way possible. One guy came to me and said, Rabbi, you guys are primitive. I said, what primitive? You guys put the woman in the back, in the women's section, separated. I told them, when you go to the zoo, and you see people standing on the other side, spectating, looking into the animals, you don't say miskenim, they're standing on the other side. The women are looking into the animals. We're not looking at them, they're looking at us. They're the spectators, we're the animals. I never thought about it that way. So when a person has a diamond, $10 million diamond, you're not going to put it out on his ring, walk around with it because you know it's going to get stolen. So what does he want to do with it? Keep it in the safe. Frame, in the safe. So too, when a woman is so precious, that we keep them on the other side. We keep them away, not because of them, because of us. The Torah says, and I'm saying this in a nice way possible, though this is not my words. Chazal say, if you take the most beautiful in the woman of our generation, most beautiful, and you put her next to Sarah Imenu, it's like a monkey next to a person. I didn't say this, Chazal say. And if you take Sarah and put her next to Chava, she looks like a monkey next to a person. So understand how beautiful Chava was. And Torah doesn't even mention one time her beauty. Not one time. Sarah, 127, 100 like 20 in sin, because a person until 20 is not chayav b'dinei shamayim, according to Masechet Shabbat, different interpretations of it, whatever. And 20 like 7 in beauty. Why 20 like 7 in beauty? You ever saw a 7-year-old, and be careful how you answer. You ever saw a 7-year-old and said, wow, look how beautiful. Be careful how you answer. I'm recording live. Huh? You ever saw a beautiful 7-year-old and said, wow, it's a beautiful, wow. No. 7-year-old usually they're in the awkward phase. They have one big tooth, one small tooth. They're walking around with it. This beauty. So 20, like, when is the prime time for the women? In the 20s. Says Sarah Imenu, in the peak of her beauty, in her 20s, when she was the most beautiful, like a 7-year-old. What do you mean like a 7-year-old? 7-year-old? The same way a 7-year-old doesn't know their beauty, doesn't focus on their beauty, doesn't know that she's beautiful. The same thing Sarah Imenu, 20 years old, she didn't even know she was beautiful. It didn't matter to her. I'm beautiful, not beautiful, ma kesher. 20, simplicity. The most beautiful. Torah says she's beautiful. Rivka says she's beautiful. Why didn't I say Rivka is beautiful? Because when every other woman bent down in the watering well to get the water, they bent down in a normal way, and she kneeled down so she wouldn't show her legs. She wouldn't burn her modest way. Oh, Torah says you have modesty in your beauty? That's beautiful. Yosef, the only man in the Torah, it says about him that he's beautiful. Who did Yosef look like? Says the Midrash. Like Yaakov. And Yaakov looked like who? Yitzchak. And Yitzchak looked like who? Avraham. And Avraham looked like who? Adam HaRishon. Adam HaRishon says about him he's beautiful? No. Avraham says about him that he's beautiful? No. Yitzchak says about him beautiful? Yaakov? Who did it say about him beautiful? Only Yosef. Why? Because only when Yosef was in a place where his beauty was requested, and he overcame it. He chose to be modest even in Egypt. He's in the middle of Sdom V'Amorah, Las Vegas, the most beautiful person in the history. Guy's standing over there, and everyone over there, I don't want to tell you what Rashi says, the Midrash, about the people in Egypt at the time. And they were shchorim, mucharim, achim shel akushim. That's his words, not me. So Yosef finds himself in a place now where everybody's ugly. Yeah? Everybody's ugly. And Yosef is this, wow, fetor, yafeh mareh. And the women were jumping over the gate to look at him, cutting their fingers as the Midrash, to stare at him. Eshet Potiphar became sick over his beauty. And he says, no. In a place where they want my beauty, over here specifically, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be humble. I'm going to be modest and humble. Says Torah says, if you're modest, and you keep the beauty in a modest way, and it's challenged, and it's doesh, and people want it, and you keep it, that's really beautiful. But Rabbi, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to be a good-looking man or a good-looking woman and have to hide away your beauty. And that's exactly where the growth is. The growth is exactly in those areas where it's very difficult for you. I always tell you guys a joke. The guy tells me, Rabbi, I'm staying away from women. I tell him, no, the women are staying away from you. Don't lie to yourself. I'm staying away from you. But you have the other side of the coin. A guy, really, mamash, good-looking guy, says, Rabbi, I'm watching myself. I'm watching my eyes. I'm not talking to him. This guy's praiseworthy because he has dorshim mimenu. He has the beauty. He looks good, and they want and they ask. Tzniut. I need tzniut. No, I need tzniut. Covers himself. Doesn't go outside with it. You know those guys that start working out for the first day. You see them when he's wearing an extra small shirt. You could see everything. He walks around. Yeah, he doesn't have any muscle on him. He's skin shitty. He has 2 pounds. The tightest shirt you can find. You know, I went to the women's section. 2 more minutes, he's going to be wearing crop top, okay? There's no beauty. Beauty is when the guy covers himself up. He's modest. People don't know. He works out, doesn't work out, could be, doesn't. Look at that. Sipuk, that's the babel. Look at it. So the guy, modest. Now look at the show off, and the guy's walking around. You know? What I came to, Rabbi, every morning I wake up, I'm מסתכל על a six-pack. I told him a few more months, it's not going to look at. Every morning I wake up, I get a six-pack. I said, this is I wake up in the morning. This is not beauty. Because real beauty is the one that's concealed. Real beauty is the one that's hidden away. Real beauty is the one that, yes, you're right, you have it, people ask for it, and they want it from you, but even still, you hide it away. You stay modest. You stay humble. And the women, like I was saying, in their innocence, they don't understand that the problem is not them, the problem is the men. Today I told them in the office, a guy, he asked, Rabbi, I got into a car accident. So, guy drives a GT3 Porsche, okay? Red interior, red interior, straight pipe, okay? Turns on the car, ככה מתחיל את הבוקר. His mom wakes up 6 o'clock in the morning from his car. Oh, ישתבח שם. Now today they took it even a step further. Now it's no longer, now it's boom, 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 boom. Now if it doesn't sound like Hamas is running through the neighborhood, ישתבח שם the car, I don't want it. I never heard something like that. Popping. Popcorn they call it, לא יודע מה they call it. I never in my life, the sound, I don't know how the sound became appealing. You know? I walk in and the one guy over here was driving, his car was so loud, I called 911, I thought someone shot over in the neighborhood. Boom! Whoa! So what's going on over here? 911? No, sorry, that's the Porsche GT3 with the straight pipe, he got the new exhaust, Then he crashes the car. Rabbi, I don't know what happened to me. Oh, you don't know what happened to you? No? You weren't driving down with the baby blue and the red interior with the windows open, the top down, and everyone heard you? I can enjoy good things. I told him, you know when ayin hara sholet bcha, you know when it falls on you? When you provoke the thought on the other person. When you do something to provoke a thought on another person, you go out and you showboat or you show, and you're making another person feel jealous, then the ayin hara is going to come on you. You provoke that thought, and therefore you are part in that action. Hashem says, okay, I have no choice. You're a part of it. You provoked it. So, it comes down on you. But if it's a new one, you keep the car, you tint the windows, lower down, kosher away, tint the windows, delete the straight pipe or whatever it's called, keep it back to the normal pipe, lower down, you know, how you call it. Okay? Nowadays, you have car, you put it in silent mode. You know what I'm saying? Silent mode, okay? Silent mode. So, God, it's quiet. It's a new one. Nobody knows, Rabbi. Nobody knows. Over here, I know I cannot reach you. You know why? Because you're modest. So a woman said, all right, if I dress modestly, what am I going to gain? I didn't do anything wrong. It's true. Maybe you didn't do anything wrong, but did you provoke that thought? If you dress in a certain type of way, do you provoke that thought? Yes. Provoke that thought, and therefore you're a partner in that thought. And therefore, when the action comes down, when that thought comes down, when that action manifests itself into the world, you are a partner in that action. You are a partner in that action. And therefore, the tzniut, the modesty, for the men and the women, which can be very difficult. Watching our eye, watching our breathe, not driving around, no. Keeping ourselves modest and humble, not showing off. The guy goes to the gym right away, puts on the V-neck, and no. You want to work out for your briut, work out for your health, no problem. No reason to put on the bright pink shirt with the, I'm talking about. Puts on the bright and then he puts on the baby oil. So, they're not going to have any svekot. Supposed to get everything lasered, so that way not one hair is going to come. Not going to ruin the physique. This is the Chayei. If a person has the modesty, yes, it's difficult. Yes, when a person has it, he wants to showboat, it doesn't make a difference. In those difficult moments, put it away. Those difficult moments, persevere, push through it. One time they came to the Baal Shem Tov, they were on the way to do a mitzvah. The Baal Shem Tov used to go with a chariot. Chariot, not a time like today you have trains and cars. Chariot. And one time they were on the way to do a mitzvah, and the chariot, they got stuck in the mud, and they had to work very hard to come and get it out of the mud. So they came to the Rabbi and said, Rabbi, I don't understand. We're going to do a mitzvah and we're having difficulty. He tells them, this is how you know you're going to do a mitzvah. Because everything went smooth, you need to be aware where you're going. Once there's difficulty, now you know you're on the way to do a mitzvah. Now you know. And I'll finish with this. Avraham Avinu, well, no promises, but usually I'll finish. I think I'll finish with this. I think so. I don't want to, midvar sheker dichak. Avraham Avinu, Hashem tells him, go and sacrifice your son. Go and sacrifice your son. And what does he do? He wakes up early in the morning, he takes Yitzchak and he goes. And then the angel tells him, Al tishlach yadecha al anar. Don't send your hand against him. Al taslamu ma. Don't do nothing to him. If the rabbi tells you to do something, and his student tells you otherwise, who do you listen to? The rabbi. Fair? Hashem tells him, sacrifice. The angel tells him, don't sacrifice. Avraham Avinu is thinking to himself in his way, wait a minute, this is another test. Hashem is testing me to see if I'm still going to do it. So at what point in Avraham's mind did it change? At what point did his mind change the perspective and say, this is what Hashem wants from me? When he saw the ram, that his horn was stuck in the ilan, in the tree, in the bush, he knew this was Ratzon Hashem. Why? If the ram was just standing over there and his horn wasn't stuck, he would say, no, too easy. It's not Hashem, it's the Yetzirah. But once he saw he had to go and pry the horn out and dig him out of there to get him onto the... He knew this is Ratzon Hashem. If there's difficulty, this is what Hashem wants me to be. That's why I know it's Ratzon Hashem. You have people who think that if you're going back to religion, it needs to be everything smooth. Rabbi, I came back, first week I'm keeping Shabbat, it's supposed to be smooth. No, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult in the beginning, but guess what? At the end, how sweet is it going to be? You want to know how sweet it's going to be? Think about how difficult it was for you to come here tonight, and think about how you feel when you leave here tonight. How sweet does it feel? How accomplished do you feel? That's exactly how sweet it is when you overcome that difficulty. 100% without a doubt. I know a woman personally, she decided that she was a married woman, she wanted to start covering her hair. The first day she started covering her hair, first day she walked into work, oh, look who walked in, the Rabbani, right away comments. She came home, she was mitesh. She got discouraged. I'm trying to do good and I'm getting pushback. I told her exactly. That's how you know that what you're doing is the best thing you could possibly do. Because the Yetzirah doesn't want you to do it. The Yetzirah doesn't want you to go in that way. So he's going to give you every pushback you can possibly imagine. Stop. That's all. Don't go. Caution. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Oh, you came to tell me something? You gave me a nasty comment? Now I know I'm going the right direction. Oh, it's getting difficult? It's getting hard? Now I know I'm going the right direction. You want to know how to reach 120 and have all your days be complete? You want to know how to celebrate every year, another year of up? Ask yourself every single day, what's the difficult thing that I can do? Waking up in the morning and putting on tefillin is easy. Huh? One guy told me, Rabbi, when I put on tefillin in the morning, it's like a fight between me and the one hand and the other hand. You know what I'm talking about? You ever saw the movies where the guy's fighting with himself? You know what I'm talking about? Tefillin in one hand, and the other hand, fight. Difficulty. But it's the right thing to do, Badai. To go to the shul, to go to the minyan, to go pray, to go learn Torah. There's going to be difficulty. But don't be afraid of the difficulty. Because the difficulty is just a sign that you're heading in the right direction. And therefore, on this week of my birthday, Hashem, that we celebrate another year of up. I give all of you a blessing, every single one here. That this year, all of us, every single one of us, will do the hard work that we need to do. Go and do the difficult things. And when we do that, every single one of us will celebrate another year of up, another year of up. And after 120, we'll come up, and Hashem will say about us, all of the days were complete and good. Hashem will be zocheh to you. Ay, 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 la, 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 la.